talk like lions, but we sacrifice like lambs round here. Always in my head. Old Bitcoin. So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Alpha Traders. For this Friday live stream of Crypto in Clown World, brought to you by Trader Joe's. Some shit I shouldn't even be eating. Soft strawberry licorice twists. I had a moment of weakness. I try not to eat a lot of sugar. Obviously, you always see me eating spicy, sweet pineapple and all kinds of shit, but yeah, it's rough. It's rough. So, first chart I'm going to go to here. There's a 4-hour. What did I tell everybody I was waiting for? I want to see this reverse wave trend get tested on the 4-hour. If it breaks down through the 4-hour, come on, TradingView. Maybe it comes down to this cross area. Bilbo, is that a golden cross? No. It's a reverse wave trend crossing up the reverse fissure on the 12-hour. We don't have some stupid name for it. We just call it the reverse wave trend crossing the reverse fissure, which is powerful considering there's where it crossed down. There's the all-time high. You know, we've been down ever since, right? 12-hour rejecting off the reverse wave trend. Now we're back up above both. Reverse wave trends crossing up the fissure. Mr. Money Printer Burr comes out and says, hey, by the way, guys, inflation's the highest it's ever been since, what, 1982 or something? When Peanut Boy was in office and ruined the country. Here we go again. These people are fucking clowns, man. It's the blind leading the blind. Politicians are worthless sacks of shit. Right? I'm sure everybody out there agrees. Worthless sacks of shit is what they are. They do nothing but just create chaos in our world. Nothing good ever comes out of all this.
And Bilbo,
bullshit.
we don't know who.
So
he is.
Traditional markets, right? They're in an uproar. Had another massive down day. We're going to look at those charts there in a little bit, right? Because I was talking about SPY going to new all-time high. It could. I told somebody in a Discord earlier, they're just like, oh, well, we're in a bear market, so NFTs are going to be in a bull market. I'm like, bear market, LOL. Why are you saying it's a bear market? Because you've been watching YouTube Jimmy or you've been watching the news? I said, show me volatility, probability, and statistics charts, and I'll tell you what the news is going to be tomorrow. That's the truth of it, right? So yeah, man. And there was some bear div on some time frames, like the 4-hour between returns and price action. We'll look at the 12-hour, look at the daily. But all week since we've been climbing, I said on the 4-hour. And here was the bear div on the 4-hour right here. High, lower high. Right? And then we had some bloop, bloop. I wanted to see this reverse wave trend on the 4-hour get tested. It is at 42.5. The low today, or wait a minute. Right. Yeah, 42.469. BTC USD. What? A minute here. Well, that's not making sense at all. This is at 4-hour, right? Saying the low is 42.430. When it's pretty obvious the low today was about 42.6. Okay, TradingView. I don't know what to tell you there. But anyway, did it get tested? Almost. Could it still get tested fully? Sure, it could. Down there about 42, little tick under 42.5. Now, if that breaks, what are we looking at down here? What are we looking at down here? This is the 99 length variance log moving average at about 41.3 area, 41.4 area. It's actually 41.3. So then I pop up on the 12 hour, 41.3. At about 41.1 is the 12 hour reverse wave trend that just crossed back up the reverse fissure. So let's see how this plays out over the weekend. Of course, they're trying to push this thing down. But you know me, do I think we're in a bear market? No, I think people are taking profits. Do people not realize that high inflation is good for Bitcoin? The smart people that know what the real sound money is, right? Is it gold? No, no. There's only one other thing more manipulated than gold, the US dollar. It's crazy that these people just sit on their piles of gold and don't realize what's going on. I don't understand it. I used to buy metals. I don't have a freaking quarter of an ounce laying around. Right? No, no. The only metal I have are the nuts and bolts and shit in my garage. I don't hold that stuff, man. It's worthless. We're in the digital age. I don't care what anybody says. Just like the record store owners back in the day, when digital music started to pop, they're like, no, I'm going to hold on. They went out of business, right? Came back strong though, right? There's some vintage record stores that are really actually pretty cool where you can go buy vinyl, things like that. But when that big transition was happening and these big record stores, they all went out of business, man. You got to move at the times. Got to move at the times. So let's and here's a bottom line too. Been talking about this all week. We're bumping it all week. This weekly candle. We've got by the mean of the projection from the 41K low pump that rejected on the 95.4 Laplace distribution range. Got up, rejected, but closed all these candles above where? The bottom side of the 68.3 Laplace distribution range from the 60 to 29K dump. Okay, so we crossed, and then what do we get after that? This weekly candle bounces off the 68.3 to the downside up to the new all-time high at about 70K. Profit. Look at the weekly candles. Look at all the little dots. Look at the line. Look at everything being tested. Right? This weekly candle right here. Second standard deviation move to the downside. Pulled back up. Right? Pulled back up. Where to? Inside the first standard deviation normal distribution. There was a 68.3% chance. It almost got back inside the 68.3 Laplace. We open up the next week. It pumps up to the 68.3 Laplace distribution current candle range, that little pink dot right there, and the bottom side of the 68.3. Rejects, dumps to the bottom side of the 68.3 from the 41K projection. That also happened to be right at the third standard deviation normal distribution on the current candle. If you're watching this on YouTube for the first time, you're probably going, what the hell is this guy even talking about? What the hell is a standard deviation? What the hell is this? Research, man, research. We're not here to hold your hand. But if you do come into the Alpha Trading Discord, man, I'm going bald. What the hell's going on here? We will help you. We'll help you figure this stuff out. But this is how I learned. I heard people that knew more than me talking about volatility, probability, and statistics. I wrote down everything I was listening to. Then I went and researched the terms to see what the hell was going on. Now, when I first started researching, did I understand what I was looking at? No, but I just kept digging, kept listening, kept digging, never talking, right? Never speaking, just listening and researching, Usually I don't have much to say unless I really know what I'm talking about. I'm not that guy that's just babble, 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 babble. My friends in real life all know I'm very soft spoken. I might not seem like it, but in real life I am. I don't speak unless there's intention, because speech is powerful. Speech creates reality, in my opinion. Thoughts, right? Where does speech come from? That incessant stream of thought in your head makes your tongue go blah, 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 and you start speaking. And most people, it's all gibberish up there. Just incessant, nonstop thought, 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 thought. You tell people about meditation and they think it's about, oh, I'm going to go sit by the river, watch the ducks. I'm going to go meditate. That's not real. That's not meditation. And meditation's clearing your mind of all the thoughts, where you're just in this stillness. And in that stillness, that's when the thunder speaks to you, right? It's called the thunder of silence. That's when you clear your thoughts. And then you learn about intention. And when you speak, there's a force behind it. It's not just mindless babbling. Babble, 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 babble. I try to tell my nephews and my nieces about this kind of stuff, right? Because the parents don't want to listen to it. My brother, maybe he's watching this video laughing his ass off. But it's the truth, man. People don't want to hear it. They'd rather just babble instead of learning about intention. Don't speak unless you have something to say. That incessant stream of thought running through your head, that's just all garbage. Blah, 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 blah. But anyway, let's get back to this. This is why I try to tell people, this is intention. Everything you see on this chart has intention. What's creating that intention? The algorithms. Do you think these algorithms, there's a thought process there, right? It's being coded by humans, but it's pure, right? There's intention behind it. That's what the code is. There's intention. Everything means something. It's not just bullcrap, right? Especially when it's in trend, which our entropy indicator shows you. Are we in trend or are we in randomness? So this candle comes down, tests there, pops back up, right? Pops back up almost to the first standard deviation. Not quite. I mean, that's a hell of a wick, though, back up, right? Pulled back over 50%. You know how many short sellers got wrecked there that didn't take their profit? Now, if you have the distribution here, you're probably taking your profit on your short at the 2SD normal distribution. Did you miss out on some of that trade? Yeah, but did you lose all your profit? No, because you stepped out. And by the way, that happened fast, if you remember correctly. That massive dump and that pullback, if I remember correctly, that was like 90 minutes, man. Wham! Wham! Right back up. So you got to be careful out here in trading land. Now we broke down below the 68.3 on this weekly candle. And I was like, hey, there's a probability we go down to 20K. 20K area. Why? Well, because the 99.7% Laplace distribution range was down there. That's why. And that could get tested. But at the same time, there was a 68.3% chance. 95.4% down here. My bad. I got so many projections crossing each other. So there was a 68.3% chance Bitcoin on the weekly from this projection got back in this range right here. And that's what I've been looking for. Go back a couple weeks ago and listen to it. I was like, I want to see Bitcoin get back inside the 68.3. And as soon as Bitcoin closes a weekly candle above the mean of that projection, there's a high probability Bitcoin's going to go up and test like the 57K area over the next few weeks. But you know how Bitcoin does it. Hell, it could be in a day, man. You never know with this stuff. We've seen this happen. We've seen 2 4-hour candles in the market move 10K before. It's not shocking anymore. Anybody that's been in cryptocurrency for a substantial amount of time, me since 2016, you have fucking seen it all, man. Nothing surprises you in Bitcoin. And now with Bitcoin at $42,900, You can have a $500 1 minute candle. You remember back in the day, like 2017, when Bitcoin starting to pump, when a $500 day, everybody was like, volatility. Yeah. Dude, we getting that in 1 minute, 5 minute candles now. It's crazy. It's crazy. There's a lot of volatility in the market. I'm looking for a weekly candle to close above the mean of this projection from the 41K low. And then Bitcoin, there's a high probability over the next couple of weeks, especially by the end of this quarter, which hell, that's 6 weeks away. I told you what I thought could possibly happen. Because then if we close up above the 68.3 in the next couple weeks going into March, the last month of the first quarter of 2022, this baby could run up to the 95.4 and we could see $125,000 Bitcoin. But everybody's like, you're an idiot. We're in a bear market. And I'm just like, whatever. I'm just talking about the probabilities. Same time, there's a probability we close this weekly candle below the 68.3 again. This was a little bull trap. And then we go down here. Who knows, man? That's why we trade low time frame volatility. I'm just giving you a macro look and giving you probabilities to both sides. Do I care which way it goes? Not really. Because when I'm actively trading, I'm down on the 5 and 15 minute trading. You know who else is down there on the 5 and 15 minute time frame trading? The high frequency trading firm algorithms. That's where they're trading. I was telling people in another Discord this morning, right? It's just crazy, man. It's crazy. It's insanity. 100%. So anyway, give me my AVZ, baby. What am I on, the 4 hour? Okay, let's take a peeky poo. Yeah. And you can see on the 4 hour, right? The bear div, I was especially between log returns and Z-score. That here was the little bit right here, right? The little bit of bear div that played out. But now look what's happening right now. We're stuck between these variance log moving averages, right? The 9 and the 33. And you've got the 90, or you've got the 54.99 and 144. They are bunched up. Look at the volatility bands, right? Look at the deviation bands right here. By the way, this has been published this morning. The Fisher was as well. You guys will be receiving these if you do have the alpha trading indicators. You'll be getting this indicator, right? Or Fisher. It has 4 plots. You can actually have 4 different length Fishers on here. All kinds of different smoothing. You know how Donnybrook and Van does it, right? They don't do anything half-assed. Ding, 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 ding. So deviation bands, Fisher. You will be getting these. They are published privately, of course. Now, so 4 hour, look what's happening with the entropy. You can see correlation's starting to build to the downside. We're starting to drop. We're not in trend yet, but it is starting to drop. Look how far down these standard error bands are. Over the weekend, if this baby goes into trend to the downside, could definitely see this 41K level tested. Now we could see that tested like in an hour. You never know, man. You never know with Bitcoin. But this is the kind of stuff that likes to get tested. The bulls are like, rah, here we are. And the bears are like, ah, here I am. We're going to see if you mean business. So let's say on the 12 hour, we're talking right at 41K. It's 41 and a little change, 41,026. And we're going to pop over here on the VRE. Here is the center of the weekly range and the top of the monthly range, right? Finishing up the second week of February. Remember when I told everybody? I was like, it will not shock me at all if this area gets tested. And that 12-hour reverse wave trend is about $500 above that, right in this area. Right in that area, right there. Do we get a wick down to test the top of this monthly and center of the new weekly? Which this is good, right? I talked about Look where price action is, right? It's all above here. This weekly range, barring we dump out to fucking into the middle 30s again, this weekly range is gonna move up and probably tighten up. Probably tighten up, to be honest. Let me see here. Let me move this down a little bit. Let's get this whole weekend. I mean, we did have a nice little pump. Come on. What is this? What's the show notification? Sure, why not? Show me your little notifications. Let's see. Right here. Price action doesn't go down any farther, even closes in this area by the end of the weekend. We're talking new weekly range is going to be up here like mid 43s, probably. So it's going to move up even higher. And the farther we get that new weekly range above that monthly, the better, especially if BTC Bulls can run it back up there and start closing candles above that new weekly. But it's what we don't want to do. By the end of the week, we want Bitcoin to be safe. We want Bitcoin up here above this weekly R1 right here. Right? You can see we had some trouble. We had some trouble with it. We're back down below it. We want Bitcoin closing because then another week, Bitcoin's going to close its data set at the end of the week above the new weekly range. It could use that as a launch point. That monthly's been tested. We're putting some distance between the weekly and the monthly range. The dailies were stepping up. It even did it today. The range just went wider, right? You can see the center of the daily went up a tick, probably about $50, $100. So yeah, looking good. This is something to keep an eye on now, right? But this could easily lose correlation and go dark pink, and start going back into randomness. It's still random now, but if this starts to decrease, the entropy starts to go back this way, and we start to get some dark pink candles, price is going to start walking up again. But right now, going to the end of the day, right? I mean, trust me, these bears, they're going to try to push this thing down. But inflation's not bad for Bitcoin. If anything, it's good. Historically, it has been. So we'll see what happens. This shit show, on the other hand, whew. What did I say, though? By the end of the month, SPY's going to be at 430 or 480. I didn't say 100% 480. I said it's going to be at 480 or 430. At the beginning of the week, I looked at the charts. I looked at the current candle weekly standard deviation levels, the monthly levels, where that's coming from. And I was like, the probabilities to me are higher for it to go to the top side. Retail traders are panickers, though, right? And they hear it come out, all this inflation. It's bad for the stock market. So we're dumping. It's dumping on the news, right? Since age old, any type of news, I don't care what type of news it is, it's all a manipulation tool. They're manipulating the masses, steering them, right? Steering them into a certain direction. That's all news is. News is bullshit these days. There was a time when news was worthy. That time's long gone. Long gone. I mean, I got friends, I got family members. It's like they're just every night, 5 p.m. news. Oh, they got to watch it. Oh, and they're just glued to the TV and just soaking in all the propaganda. I'm at the dog park playing with all the dogs. I don't give a shit about that crap, man. It's all manipulation. Let me go to stream chat, see who I'm stirring up with all my ranting. That y'all just sitting there like, uh-oh, Bilbo's ranting again. So, look what's setting up. This is good, actually, going into the weekend. Let me turn on. Just setting up. All right, just setting up. What is that? What is it when you have a lower low on price action and a higher low on your oscillator? Returns oscillator, right? The returns oscillator, for example, which is the only kind of divergence we really give a shit about. I got the Fisher on here just for a little more confluence. There is Bull div building right now on the 4 hour. It's not on the DLP. It's not on the Fisher. It's not on the log return Z-score. Right? But it is on the returns oscillator. And by far, out of all these, this is the go-to for me. Everything else is like confirmation of what I'm seeing. On the 4 hour, variance is rising, negatively correlated. Right? So we got to keep an eye on the variance. Got to keep an eye on the variance because we all know as alpha traders, when variance rises and it's negatively correlated to price action, down, down. I don't need the 98% emoji. Down. Price goes down 100% of the time. When it's positively correlated, especially with an outlier like this, price action goes up 100% of the time as he pounds the desk. I'm glad it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. So yeah, bull div building on the 4 hour. Shannon entropy percentile. It's expanding a little bit, right? Heading into negative correlation. We know what that means. We've already talked about the entropy. We're negatively correlated historical volatility Z-score. It's heading down. Right? It's heading down. That's actually, if we stay negatively correlated, that's a good thing. But you can see when this historical volatility, right when the 4 hours started dumping, look how historical volatility Z-score went up. And look at the correlation break. It went negatively correlated. What happened right there? 1, 2, 3, 4 hour candles down. Volatility, expansion, negatively correlated, down, right? And then when you get contraction, positively correlated, it continues down with this last candle. Last two, actually. The first couple candles here, boom, it was expansion negative, contraction positive. Check out the 12 hour. Yeah. 12 hours actually having an outlier. Where did it reject off of? Where'd the 12 hour? We got a wick above the 144 length. All right. Boom. Now we're below the 99. But you literally have the 9 crossing up the 33 and the 54. So do we come down? Look at that. 41.5. 41.5 area. That gets tested. But look, variance rising. Outside's pink. Negatively correlated. And if you want your variance to look like this is the Wolf's Bane indicator with everything turned off except the variance. Right? The Wolf's Bane is comprised of variance, log return Z-score, and returns oscillator. I've broken it apart so it's easier to explain on stream for new people watching. You look at the Wolf's Bane indicator and people are like, okay, my mind's melting. What is that? All right, this is a lot easier to explain to people and for them to see all the different parts of that indicator. But that was my little brainchild. I love that indicator. But I have it like this. let's just say for teaching purposes. It's easier to see all this happening. Look at the expansion on the 12-hour, 3 12-hour candles down, expanding volatility, negatively correlated. Right here, Z-score heading up, negatively correlated. You see the correlation on the 12-hour, right? It's telling you the correlation's to the top side, right? But the correlation's decreasing because it's dark blue. And when your correlation is decreasing, and it's the dark blue color or whatever color you chose, when it's heading back into randomness, down, down, exact opposite. If this was correlation to the downside, downside, and this was dark pink, losing correlation to the downside, going back into randomness, price action would be walking up. Instead, it's going down right now. And on the 12-hour, the Shannon entropy percentile, expanding, negatively correlated. I mean, this has to blow people's minds if they're coming from traditional TA, right? Because you're not getting this information with that crap. If you are, man, just come to the Discord to have a discussion. Show me what you got. Show me your edge. Prove to me your edge isn't the edge of the cliff that you've been falling off of for the last fucking few years, losing all your money. Show me your edge. I'll show you mine. We can put them up against each other. The thing that you don't understand is that's how it has been. That's how it has been for the last 3 years. And let me see something real quick. You haven't been doing very well. You've been losing. I like to have fun. It's true, though. Yeah, so the 12-hour, yeah, everything's looking like this thing wants to go down. Maybe it's going to break that 4-hour reverse wave trend. We're going to go down and test that 12-hour. Time is it? Yeah, it's about to ready to jump back over the SPY here. And look, we talked about this on the 12-hour, man, right? And the fact that this hasn't even dumped out more and already come down to under 40K with this return oscillator coming off that bear div. Remember, I was talking about the bullish reset. Look at this return oscillator. Whole time it was going down, and even below the zero mean, Bitcoin was going up on the daily. Now, the return oscillator's down here at the deviation band. That's the second standard deviation band. This isn't pretty, though. All right, these fissures are pretty high. Pretty high, and they've already turned down. You guys will like this indicator for confluence for things. It's powerful. Fissure transforming. It's pretty cool. It's the only thing we will even recognize coming from that arena over there in traditional TA land. You can see on the deviation bands, right? You can see on the deviation bands, we broke back up above this Gaussian mean, stopped right at the 1 SD band. Rode that 1 SD band all the way up. Tested the top side of the Gaussian mean a couple times. Now we're broke down below. Where's 1 SD the downside? 39.30, 39.250, 39.2 to be exact. So we're going to have to see how this plays out this weekend. This will be interesting. That's right. The weekend, it's a lot of retail trading going on. Not that these high frequency trading firms aren't trading, but this is where fear can kick in. And these people, oh damn it, I thought I bought the bottom. And then what do people do? It's funny, man. And this will go on forever. People buy tops and sell bottoms. It's just what people do. It's just what people do, man. I got people asking me, should I buy this? Should I buy that? I'm like, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know what the hell you should buy. I know what I'm buying right now. Why Bitcoin is just fucking around, doing its thing. Shaking people, breaking them, breaking their confidence in their trading, especially if they're over in traditional TA land. That's what this kind of price action does. It just breaks them. because they're watching YouTube Jimmy. And one day Jimmy's like posting freaking news articles. Can you believe this? Can you believe that? We're going to the moon. So-and-so said this. Oh, wait, now Jackass did this. Oh, so-and-so came out and said inflation's horrible. Oh, now we're going to the basement again. It's just day after day after day. And they continue to watch these people. Let me tell you something about YouTube Jimmy. YouTube Jimmy is a lagging indicator. That's what YouTube Jimmy is. He's just as bad as the RSI and stochastic indicators and the MACD and exponential and simple moving averages and all. They are lagging indicators. Crazy. I don't get it. I don't have to though, right? We're chilling at Alpha Trading, just hanging out, So yeah, we had bear div, DLP2, right, on the 12-hour. And trust me, when you have divergence between returns and price action, it plays out. It plays out 100%. That's it. Think of it as when you're able to read that divergence, you're looking into the like code of these algorithms. You're seeing what they're thinking. It's telling you what the buy and sell pressure is doing, and that the return on your investment is diminishing, no matter if you're long or short. Bull or bear div, hidden bull or bear div. Are we having a trend changing divergence, or are we having a continuation divergence? Which one is it? All right. First, you got to learn how to read divergence, and it's not hard. I know at first it just seems hard. It's not. If you just put time into it, like anything. Do you know how many tens of thousands of hours I have staring at these charts? And then somebody will come in, they've got like 100 hours on the charts, and they'll be like, I don't understand this. This doesn't work. I'm going back to YouTube Jimmy. It's like, man, this takes a while. This takes a while. And when it comes to divergence itself, I mean, from what I've seen on YouTube land or anywhere else, there's only two people that even really understand it. Me and Crown. Right? He's another one that reads divergence pretty well, but he's using the wrong indicators, unfortunately. That's okay, though. He's good at what he does. He's good at what he does. I'm good at what I do. We don't trade the same way. That's fine. Doesn't mean we're not friends. Doesn't mean we're not friends. He's done well for himself. He's got a nice crew of people buying indicators and buying trading philosophy programs and all the other stuff. Okay, let's see. That was a little troll on my buddy there. It's okay. So yeah, 12-hour or daily too, right? Look at the daily. So 4-hour setting up hidden, or 4-hour setting up bull div, right? Look at the 12-hour. What's it setting up? And the 12 hours down by the second standard deviation band. It's setting up hidden bull. That's when there is a higher low on price action, right? And a lower low on the oscillator. Okay. And today we closed this 2-day candle, right? And remember, I told everybody where I wanted this thing to go. It did the exact opposite. Hey, which is fine. Yeah, it closes today. Or does it? The hell's the date today? Yeah, it closes today. And look where it rejected from, right? Right at the 144 and the 33. That 33 is a bare enough. But then this is on the 2-day. That 33 is getting ready to cross down to 44. Hey, man, I mean, don't be surprised. This thing turns around and goes the other way. And it was a nice little bear trap, right? Little relief pump. And we go down lower. day. Nice. So we get a 2-day and a 3-day today. I'm still though. I mean, this 3-day log return Z score been down here for a long time, almost from the all-time high. It really has. I mean, we had an outlier here that dropped us down into these confidence intervals on the downside, or yeah, confidence intervals on the downside. It's been trying to pull out of here for a while. Did cross up the MA there. Let's see if it finds some support on that. And we do go to the top side. This is just getting people out of their positions as usual. That's what Bitcoin does, gets people all screwed up. But I'll tell you what, on this 3-day candle here, I mean, the correlation building to the downside, right? Let's see what happens. We don't want this to go into trend, crying out loud. Do not want this to go into trend. Last time on the 3-day, it went into trend. We had that dump. 45, about 10K down. That put us right back at the low, 33, pretty much. Shannon Entropy percentile still positively correlated with the way. Let's see what happens, because if we start to contract, if this starts to contract on this 3-day and this thing stays positively correlated, price coming down for sure. About intraday, if I jump over on the SPY NASDAQ and see what the hell their problem is. Yeah. Yeah, on the 90-minute too, right? I mean, just set up some hidden bear, right? We get to dump, get to a little relief, and it set up some hidden bear divergence, continuation. Now it's just barely hanging on to the 99. Same time, bull div, right? And you'll notice when you learn divergences, you'll see how it's literally the imbalance in the sell and buy pressure is creating that divergence, right? And divergences move right into other divergences. It moves the entire market. I've shown this before, just one after another. Boom, 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 bull to hidden bear, or yeah, and then bear to hidden bull, or bull to bear, bear to bull. I mean, it's just back and forth, back and forth. Div after div after div after div. My little metaverse girlfriend. Hilarious. Yeah, Bilbo dove into the metaverse a bit. Oh, but that's what I was going to say. What am I doing? I'm not even actively trading right now. My Bitcoin shakes everybody's nuts and bolts loose. I'm freaking finding these blue chip NFT projects, specifically in the metaverse. I mean, do I fully agree with all that crap? No, man, I love reality. Not virtual reality, but I'm not stupid either. And yeah, apparently everything's shifting in that direction. So I'm a metaverse real estate owner. Okay, what can we go to? I want to go over here real quick. First, let's go to the BRE. Let's see this shit show. Check out SPY first. Oof. Ugh. Oogala boogala oogala 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 boogala ooh. But I mean, remember the other day we just gapped pre-market. Let's check this week out. Now, when I saw this tight weekly range, I was like, SPY's going to trend. Did it? Yeah, it sure did. Up and down. Trended all over the place. Just wrecking the shit. Nobody can get a pulse on this thing. If you watch some of those freaking market analysis people like on CNBC and all that crap, they're just talking out of their ass. They don't know what the hell's going on. They're blaming it on one thing or the other. It's inflation. It's blah, blah, blah. When the whole time, this is algos, man. This is the 15-minute chart. This is where the algos are trading. But here's this really tight monthly. Here was this really tight this weekly. Look, we got what? We're only barely getting close to halfway through February. We got a lot more trending to do. I'm going to stick to my guns. All right. Down here at this weekly, but this is over pretty much. So we can shit can now. We got to see where the new weekly range comes in Monday for traditional markets, right? Is the weekly range going to move up or down? It's gonna fucking stay right where it is, probably, guys. Seriously, it's gonna be right around 450 again. It's gonna be right in this area again. It's not gonna move much. You can tell by just looking at the weekly price action. All right. You guys have been right here. You guys have been using this probably long enough by now. You can recognize where it's going to be coming in at. It's not going to change much. It's not going to change much at all. It's going to be right around that 449 area. Going to widen though, but that's not going to change the monthly. The weekly, it would have been nice if SPY could have stayed up above this monthly, right? Because it would have moved this weekly volatility range up above it, and that would have been good for SPY. Considering it closed below both, it could be a thing where we come into Monday, maybe reject where the new weekly is going to be, and move farther down. The monthly 1SD to the downside on SPY is right about 430, right in this area. If SPY does not bounce from there, could get real ugly for SPY, especially everybody's freaking the fuck out, man. Typical fucking traders that don't understand this crap. Why the elite, the high frequency trading firms, are sitting in the background laughing their ass off at people and the shit they're talking about. Well, this is what's happening with the market. And they're like, oh, we're the ones that are happening to the market, you idiots. We could see a 95.4 Laplace move, 420. If this area right here, 430 area, gets broke, you could easily see this down here at this 95.4 Laplace and a revisit of that wick. All the markets love to do that. Love it. That's an ugly weekly candle right there. Uggy, uggy, uggy. Right? Big fat volatile bear hammer. Let's see here. Yeah. Probably going to get some continuation. But like I said, could be a little fake out first, right? Could be a fake out first. Look at that. Where is this 144 at? It's right up there where the weekly price action volatility range is going to be again. So it could just go right back up quick and then just dump out. Because, I mean, we got entropy percentile contracting positively correlated. The entropy is starting to drop into trend, right? Correlation building to the downside. Historical volatility Z-score heading up negatively correlated. Contraction on the percentile of volatility positively correlated. And back down below these Gaussian mean bands, the Gaussian mean of the deviation bands. And look where the two SD's at, 420. That's the 95.4 Laplace distribution range on the monthly chart. There's a nice little tap of the 2SD right there on that down. A little relief and whee! But right, I'm just giving like a little macro analysis, right? Of, hey, we could go here or we could go there. Here's the probabilities. Here's what the volatility and the entropy is telling me right now. The variance, right? Here's the statistics. Rising. It's got an outlier negatively correlated. You're seeing it in the price action. Variance rises, negatively correlated. Price comes down, right? So variance rises, positively correlated. Price goes up. The variance turns back down, negatively correlated. Price goes walking up. We had a little, right at the end there, it stayed going down, right? Positively correlated. So it came back down. Then it had a little bit of an outlier to the top side. You can see how shaky this variance was. That's why when it gets like this on high time frames, that's why you drop the lower time frames. Why? Because that's where the algos are trading. They're not setting trades on the daily chart. But when you create a workflow and you're working down into intraday trading, you'll figure it out real fast. It's a lot easier to read on the lower time frames. Yeah, that's enough SPY. Let's check. I want to see NASDAQs. Yeah, right back down at that 14,256. And I mean, to the dime, right? Earlier in the day, had a little bit. We bounced off. We my ass. Opened up the above the 68.3, or no, in the 68.3 Laplace distribution range, right? Messed around a little bit, went up. Where did it reject from? This first wick rejected off the top side of the 68.3. This next wick right here, right? First, just ran its ass up real fast, rejected to the dollar off the center of the weekly price action volatility range. I mean, look at that wick, right to the yellow dotted line, then dump out. Where'd it dump out to? The new 4-hour candle, 68.3 Laplace distribution range to the dollar. The algos are down here trading these low time frames. Little relief pump, and then whoo, there we go. Now it closed underneath that weekly S1. The weekly range. Where's it going to be at? Whoa, too much. See, let's get all this little yummy price action. There we go. Just like SPY, man. It's going to be right about in the same area. It's going to drop a little bit, probably. Maybe not, because it had a nice run up to the top there. So yeah, could be SPY and NASDAQ could run back up, test a new weekly range, and then dump out. Especially if these jokers, this administration, the Federal Reserve, and all these crackers, the blind leading the blind, man. If anybody doesn't realize that this is happening on purpose, I can't help you there either. If you think this is just happenstance, let's see. How do you control a population? You control a population by keeping them separated, which they've done a damn good job in doing through the media, and you keep them in high debt. You cause them financial strain. That's how you control a population. They're doing it very well, and everybody's letting them doing it. Everybody's like, well, I can't believe our government. I can't believe the government just keeps printing money. And it was like, okay, goofies. The Federal Reserve is not our government. The Federal Reserve is as Federal Express. If you don't know that, I can't help you. It's a private corporation owned by the wealthiest families in the world. They print money. They give said money to governments, and that government pays them interest on it. This is how this works. That's why we're never getting out of debt. Income taxes. Do you know where the income taxes go? All the income taxes go to pay the interest on that debt. That's why nothing ever gets done. Insanity, man. Do some research, people. If you're watching this on YouTube land and you've been like fluttering around in the herd your whole life. Okay, NASDAQ real quick on the daily. Same thing. We're having outliers. God, that was a loud ass diesel. That was at least, I mean, this down move, it's not coming off any bear div on anything. which is telling me we get that relief pump up to the weekly. We're going to have to usually Monday and Friday, I talk about the traditional markets. We'll get back up on it on Monday. But yeah, so if you're watching this for the first time on YouTube, we are Alpha Trading. We trade volatility, probability, and statistics because that's what the high frequency trading firm algorithms are trading. We want to be on the right side of the trade. The link to our Discord is in the description of all of our videos. Come check us out. Take a look in the shop channel. That's where the two different levels of the Discord are at, right? For purchase, it gets you access to the Alpha Trading system. Open up a support ticket. Tell us what is on your mind. We love to talk to new people, and we will help you, right? But at the same time, I mean, we don't care, man. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. You keep doing what you're doing. It's all good. We're winning. Come to the winning team. That's all I've got to say about that. Thanks, guys, for watching live in the Discord. We'll be back Monday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And wherever you live out on this big, beautiful blue marble, have a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening. I am signing out. See you guys later.